Welcome, everyone. My name is Danny Ross, and I'll be your host today for the Thursday edition of the AI Workstation Lunch and Learn. And we actually have a very special day today. We have some guests from an organization called E3. And so we're going to be spending a bit of time. But for you normal viewers, this is our Thursday edition where we focus on AI from a business standpoint. And in this particular scenario, we're actually going to be giving some examples of how you can use AI to promote yourself and your business. And in this particular presentation, we're going to be sharing some of the journeys of some of our more famous members. So we have Pastor is going to be on in just a few minutes. He's still getting some technical things out of the way. As we do every Thursday, I'll give you a quick overview of the platform. I'll do some specific demos this week. We're going to be focusing on the types of enterprises that you can market your AI businesses to, and we'll be having some guests on, as I mentioned, in just a few moments. As part of that, we created a special intro video. We'll go ahead and start with that. Let me know if there's any issues with audio. I am not at my normal workstation at home. I'm traveling, doing some AI training. We have about 140 people online, and I'm in a room with about 20 people. We're doing a hybrid event in Austin, Texas today. Pardon me for not having my normal complete setup here.
In a world of shifting regulations, AIW delivers governance-ready AI that respects your values and keeps your data yours. Cut costs, scale faster, and unlock new revenue with AI-powered CRM automation, smart websites, and modern sales funnels. We empower people, not replace them. Your team plus AIW equals unstoppable performance with coaching and weekly lunch and learn. Build your ultimate digital workstation. Create videos and images. Automate marketing, manage workflows, all in one place you own. Protect your IP and client trust with data sovereignty and transparent ethical AI, and go paperless with sustainable, efficient workflows. AIW isn't just a managed service. Join today for $19.95 per month and own your growth with authentic intelligence.
A little bit about myself, 30 years in the industry. My last corporate gig was Microsoft, and I've been in the AI space for the last 3 years. I love technology that helps people. That's my focus. So I help small, medium-sized businesses grow through AI. We talk a lot about launch, leverage, learn, leverage, launch, and earn. This allows you to take your business from point A and drive it all the way straight through to Z. And here's Pastor Freeman. I'm going to bring him in as well. And Pastor Freeman is actually one of our use cases. He went from not thinking about using AI to having a complete ministry around using technology and AI to help other ministries build. It's an exciting story, and it's a really good use case that shows the power of the AI Workstation group. We'll be walking through that a little bit later. Right now, I'm going to keep moving this forward and turn it over to one of our partners, Miss Ramona Rogers. I'll let her share her own presentation slides.
Awesome.
There you go.
Well, hello, everybody. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
Absolutely.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be here with us today. And presentation mode is coming up. There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Danny, for that phenomenal intro. And then welcome to the E3 plus the AIW Thursday webinar. Today's session is dedicated to planning for the November event, but our approach is always about listening, learning, refining, just like the Bayesian model we use for all of our AI programs. We're here to show how our regular cadence, Tuesdays for live app use cases and Thursdays for hands-on customization, puts partnership before products. Every week we update, adapt, and get better based on your feedback and outcomes. And I, Ramona Rogers, I want to thank E3 leaders and especially Mr. Butler for being here. This session is your session, Mr. Butler. Our managed service process is built with your success in mind. Now, let's hear more about who Mr. Butler is for the broader listening participants that popped on, like Pastor Freeman, who is definitely one of our use cases. Like Danny said, you'll hear a lot more about exactly how we have supported and helped him to elevate, empower him to also expand his reach, expand his ministry, as well as expand his brand. With that said, let's tell you guys a little bit more about Mr. Anthony M. Butler Sr. He is the commander of entrepreneurial transformation, building leaders, businesses, and communities through E3. He has a Commander E3 Center. He's also an advocate for entrepreneurs, small businesses, and veterans. Anthony Butler Sr. is nationally recognized small business strategist, veteran advocate, and an architect of the E3 philosophy: educate, encourage, empower. For over 3 decades, Butler has been at the forefront of entrepreneurship development, building systems, training leaders, and transforming communities through business ownership. CEO of Eagle Soaring Management, ESM, Butler leads a Maryland-based SBIR and VSBE registered firm delivering entrepreneurial development programs, event management, and nonprofit consultation. He's also the founder of E3 Business Group, Inc., supporting over 1,100 entrepreneurs across the US and Europe. E3 has become a proving ground for small business success, offering coaching, group frameworks, and peer-to-peer collaboration. Veteran advocate. As regional manager for the Maryland Department of Labor Veterans Program, Butler designed pathways for veterans programs. Butler designed pathways for veterans in meaningful careers and business ownership. Community architect, developer of You Want to Be an Entrepreneur curriculum at E300 Economic Growth Initiative and Call of Eagles mentoring broadcast. Butler is known for building ecosystems where entrepreneurs don't just survive, but thrive. Mr. Butler, that is quite an impressive background and resume. We seem to be very much aligned with vision and also knowing exactly who it is that we serve and where we are actually going. And I think that you would be an absolute perfect fit for this particular opportunity that we are offering you today. With that said, Mr. Butler, if someone would bring Mr. Butler up, Christina, I would love to have more of a conversation so we can unpack exactly what he is seeing in his foreseeable future with the E3 Center. Or if he could just unmute.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Ramona. I appreciate the time, and not sure where you got all that graffiti about me, but I'm just sharing.
It was through all of your grit, grind, and hard work of helping all of these
I
small businesses as well as minority
apologize to you,
businesses.
Danny and Tina. Y'all had to put up with all of that. I do want to share a little bit about what E3 is in a nutshell. It's weird hearing all of that stuff because I write it for contracts, but I don't really hear it too often. But it's been a blessed 30 years. I hail from Baltimore, Maryland. I was fortunate enough to get out of the hood, but I haven't forgotten that I'm from the hood, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
I'm an Air Force veteran. I'm a 9/11 survivor out of the Pentagon.
Wow.
And I have us to work with entrepreneurs. The key to that has been what Ms. Ramona mentioned, E3. E3 is a philosophy of educate, encourage, empower. We as a people need to educate each other in all aspects of living. We as a true family should then encourage one another to set goals and define clear objectives. We then, and only then, are empowered people, forging our own roads to success, not settling for anything less than our collective best. That is the framework, the foundation, the mindset that we work to instill and cultivate within aspiring entrepreneurs. During the past 30 years, I have been able to touch about 7,000 businesses, the courses, the workshops, teaching in different areas, creating economic development initiatives. All of that really has been around one simple premise. We are the antithesis of the crab mentality. We do not believe in holding people back. Instead, I'd rather us figure out ways to open doors of opportunity. And then, like you gentlemen would do for the young ladies, hold the door open, and make sure they're safely inside. It's just not about bringing opportunities to our small businesses. It's also about making sure that once they get into those rooms or they have those opportunities, that they can be in their comfort zone and use their God-given talents and abilities to the utmost. That is what we are. And so everything else that we do is all a vehicle for that. I think that's the main thing that I really want to make sure you're sharing. You mentioned about what I am seeing with this current administration. Everyone knows what we're seeing there. A lot of hate and vitriol contaminating the way we are supposed to be as Americans, as people. But one of the things I'm also seeing is that our entrepreneurial community, Black, white, green, whatever, they are committed to doing their small part to make the world a little bit better, or at least make the area that they touch more sane, if you will. And so that's kind of where we are.
Awesome.
People like Joel, people like Leroy, who you also see on the call, that is what I look for in entrepreneurs. I want people to have the right mindset of how to do business.
Absolutely.
If any of you are parents, and I'm going to end with this, if any of you are parents or you have children that are in your family, you know that first day of school, you don't just take them to the school. You walk in, they make there by themselves, but you follow them to the door. When they get in the classroom, you look through the classroom to make sure, see where they're sitting at, see how they're getting along, making sure they're okay. And you catch the eyes of the teacher and be like, that's mine right there. That is the way we look at entrepreneurs. Amazing. I want to make sure that our entrepreneurs are not only safely shepherded into the environments they're doing business in, whether it's multimedia, consulting, white collar, blue collar, but once they get there, they have a support system that continues to help them meet the goals that they expect and level set their expectations around time management, work-life balance, market share, negotiation, pricing, all of those things. And we do that through the E3 mentality and the E3 philosophy. That's all I'll share right now. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you again for taking time out of your busy day. That was an impressive background. As I mentioned already, you are aligned with exactly what it is that we do. And even with me personally, not even yet including Danny as well as Joel, and I know exactly what they do, which is exactly why we partnered and why we're in this partnership right now and wanting to connect and collaborate and also support and assist you with making this huge impact. And that's exactly what I do. For me, it's from inspiration to impact through vision for one, strategic planning for two, and then making a community impact. And just like you and all of us, we also have a global platform for entrepreneurs where we empower them, help them evolve, and elevate them in their core skill or craft. I think you mentioned goal setting a little bit earlier, and we take that very, very serious. And this, in fact, E3 is one of our big goals. It's that big goal. The ABC type goal is that big goal that you don't quite know exactly how you're going to achieve it, but the A and the B goals are the smaller goals that are easily attainable. You know exactly what steps to take to reach them. That is exactly what we want you to know today, is that we're here to see and to figure out what we all can do to support you and to help you to expand from where you are today. How do you see yourself, or us, meaning the partnership from Joel Hill, Danny Ross, and myself, bringing in AI and you integrating it into your business so that you can now better support? You're doing a phenomenal job at it already, but we can all strive for better. How do you see us collectively connecting and combining our skills, background, knowledge? I have 2 business degrees. I was born from 2 highly successful entrepreneurs. My grandfather was a successful entrepreneur for 50 years in Miami, where I was born and raised. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia now. And my mother, 30 years as an entrepreneur. I watched them build it from ground up, and not only build it, but sustained it. And that's everybody's goal, everything that we do. We not only want to launch it, build it, and make an impact, but we want to sustain it. And we think that we have the blueprint to doing that. How do you see yourself working with us? And if you had one goal, dream that you wanted to achieve in your business of E3, what would it be?
I think the way that we've already started working with Joe joining the Mid-Atlantic region of E3, that was the first step for me to start to see what his talents and abilities are. And by way of extension, what you are all doing. I think the conference that's being put together is the first step. because helping E3 is really about helping our individual entrepreneurs.
Awesome.
And so I want to make sure that people understand what AI can do for them. And you guys are the expert in that. Joel is our regional expert in AI, which is why he's a valuable part of the group. One of the things I'm hoping is that through the event we're creating for November, and then other opportunities for our members to get to know him and his business, they'll see the benefit for themselves and work with it. For me, I'm consulting now with a number of defense companies that are using AI. I have other members around the country that are using AI or in AI that I'll be connecting to Joel so that they can collaborate as well.
Okay.
But for me, I'm looking to see right now, how can I make sure all the people doing AI start having conversations? And then I'll look at how does my organization as a whole in helping the individual entrepreneurs, how do we tap in and leverage? That's the truthful answer. At some point, one of our goals would be to have 5,000 globally connected entrepreneurs. Another goal of ours is to have a fully accredited organization for our training arm. And then the third one is to have us known, we're getting there, but we're not quite there, as a standard in entrepreneurship around the country. That when people think about entrepreneurship, we are one of the vehicles and organizations that people say is out there actually doing measurable work that makes a difference.
Amazing. That is phenomenal. And I don't see any reason why you would not be able to achieve every single one of those goals. You are well on your way. Centered around AI technology, we all know there has to be a mindset shift around integrating AI. Anyone in business has to stay on the cutting edge of technology and innovation to stay current, to stay in the mainstream. Because if we don't want to become the dinosaur of business like Blockbuster did, when just someone with an idea of bringing a little red box and sitting on outside of the supermarkets and libraries and pharmacies took their business because they refused to stay on the cutting edge of technology. We don't want to be the next Toys R Us and become the dinosaur in business, where Toys R Us refused to go to the online space. And AI is resemblance of that as well. Something new that people aren't familiar with, and they stay safe. They prefer to stay safe rather than take risk and jump out there and get both hands and both feet in the game, or get both hands. And AI is not new. It's always been around. And thank you for your service, by the way. You've been in the military, so you know this already. I'm not telling you anything new. Military has always used it. And it's no different from the employees that went to the federal sites and the state government sites to apply. They got an instant answer, whether they were qualified or not, because of AI technology. That's just one example. Another one of my speakers live in the UK, Professor Chris Amophadon. He talks about in 2009 in the UK, where he wrote a book about the Queen and put a disclaimer in the beginning of the book explaining that he used it and wrote this book with AI technology that sold over, millions of copies. And they have been using AI. They have used AI in their railway system. They've always had driverless trains, whereas all of us here in the States are still catching up. Those are just a couple of examples. And that's what I mentioned by, I have a global following and audience as well of entrepreneurs, by the way. With that said, we have over 22,000 just in the last event. Joel and Danny spoke at that event too. And I definitely want to extend the invitation for you to speak in my events. I have them every single month for 2 days, and we have a different theme each month. I have football players that have retired, and several of them, not just a couple. And I attracted all of these people. I didn't chase, I didn't ask. They actually heard me speaking on a platform on Clubhouse with my business acumen and knowledge and experience and skill, just like you, over 35 years plus. I was a regional manager as well. When I was going through your bio last night, I was like, wow, you're so aligned. I was a regional manager with a hair care company called Supercuts, service and hair care company. And I was there for 11 years. Vienna, as well as a lot of areas in the tri-state area, was part of my region. We won national awards, and now my regional director that was over me back then, she is now inside of my ecosystem as well, because she lost her husband and he was the breadwinner. And so I helped her start and build a business that is now success. She's 10x her income in the last couple of years. That's what I do as well. I support, help, and empower as well as help them elevate and evolve from wherever they are in their business. So that's what we do. And we are definitely aligned. And I clearly see how we can impact your business in a positive way, and you, likewise, ours. Thank you again for being here. And we're going to bring Joel Hill up in just a little bit so that he can now take you guys to a whole nother stratosphere in this space of AI with the Kemet Group. I am excited about what we're getting ready to create as an event in November.
Thank you. It's an honor to be with you guys. So thank you for that.
Quite welcome.
All right, Ramona, go ahead and stop sharing so that Joel can take over.
Awesome. Will do.
Yeah, I probably, you know what? I'm just going to talk. I'm not going to really share my screen. I want to make sure Danny has time to do the demos. I'm going to cut mine a little short, but I want to thank Ramona. She has a global audience, and she has grown the webinars to last I checked was over 25,000 views, and I've never had that many views. But anyway, that's what she does. I'm here today, and I want to thank Mr. Butler. I'm actually operating in the global center. Mr. Butler's in one room, and then I have another gentleman who's also on the device. I love this place because they have snacks. He's got it well equipped here. It's a great place to be. He lays things out right. That's why we put his theme song on. Take your time, do it right. I'm sure that resonated with Mr. Butler. People look at me, and I come in, they like, explain what you do. And the best I can do, the best explanation to tell you, because we are rewriting the model, the book, in terms of managed services. And so we are essentially consider ourselves a managed service provider for AI education and training, research and development. What we have done with the AIW team, we've taken different entities within different domains, okay, whether it's like for Ramona, sales, marketing, franchising. Ramona has the experience. Danny has the corporate experience, the IT experience, and we have virtual assistants who have the generative AI experience, things. And we also have other team members that Ramona alluded to within her entrepreneurial webinar. Dr. Chris Amafadam out of the UK. He's actually going to be at the November event. That's why we are global in that regard. But what do we do really? Well, we don't make anything. What we do is help you make what you do better. We take your pain points within your business and take you through a strategy of understanding, first of all, your AIQ mindset, as Ramona mentioned. But then we teach you how to talk to the large language models. And so it doesn't matter. And so the tools that we use, it really doesn't matter to us. We teach you a system. And so that's what we hope to do. We're using November as the genesis because we know that artificial intelligence isn't just about one thing. It's a managed partnership where we build and maintain roles, relationships, digital strategies together. And so it's a process. And the thing about it is we now have use cases because we've taken an individual from our first cohort 2 years ago. We were out there. It was actually here in the DC area. I had a student, was not much of a technology fan and certainly didn't know anything about artificial intelligence. Took the class, attended the weekly training sessions, did his homework, and now they have their own curated app. And Danny's going to go through that and show you the art of the possible in terms of going from zero to hero. And so the last thing I want to say about zeros, I'm a zero, Danny's a zero, Ramona's a zero. But here's the thing about AI, we're looking for the one. If you put a one in front of those 3 zeros, you get 1,000. We increase your efficiency, no matter what domain you're in, 1,000 times by partnering with us. So that's what we do. And I'm going to move on to our transformation in terms of what we actually do. We have a use case, live person that we transform their lives. And so now, not only that, but it's making an impact on the communities. He's able to monetize digital products and services. But these were not created by AI. The individual had curated data and knowledge that we used the tools to put it out there in the public domain in a digital format. So Danny's going to show you that, and I'll come back after he finishes. Danny, go ahead.
All righty. All right. Thanks, Joel. Today, again, we can speak all day, but that statement, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and we like that number, 1,000. We believe that demos are important. So I'm going to show you a couple of quick demos. We'll touch on the Chesapeake Catalyst, which is Maryland focused. It's a platform that we're building out for businesses in that area. We also have the Pastor Freeman as a use case. I'll walk you through some of the ecosystem of AI workstations so you can get a larger picture. Simple model of teaching. This is the Chesapeake Catalyst, and you'll get the jokes in here. We designed it around the Maryland ecosystem, and these are the things that we're going to build into the platform, and I'll show you how we're doing that in just a moment. The idea is the Bayesian method. Joel teaches on that a lot. Everything on this page is referenceable to the local Maryland user. So we'll have AI workstation experience. We'll talk about how they can utilize it. We're going to have AI and analytics. In other words, we take the technical aspects and personalize it in this project that we're building out. And so it'll have a lot of features and interactions with the community. For example, they can check out the art collection that's based in Maryland. They can go down here to our resources matrix. The idea is it will connect them to all aspects of life in Maryland, and so they can jump right out to the websites, the different community and government resources that are in the area. We're going to build in AI tools directly into the platform. This is a work in progress as we speak, but we wanted to show you the type of platforms we can build with the AI tools we offer. We've mentioned Pastor Freeman. Pastor, can you come off mute and say hi?
Greetings all.
Oh,
Thank God for being here. And I'm just glad to be here. Thank God for all of the great things that not only that we anticipate, but the things that I've heard. I'm just so excited. So greetings.
just give a 5-second kind of your journey into from going from where you were to this wonderful website that I'm showing right now.
Well, just to make a long story short, I've been God has placed in me a desire to write. I've written all my life. Didn't know I was doing it, but I've always written plays, stories, participated, did short stories and things of that nature. But I asked God a long time ago, God, why I put so much time in this and I don't know what to do with it. What can I do with it? I need to get your message out, get your word out, but how do I do it? And of course, everyone that knows me know that I'm computer illiterate. I just know the basics. One day, my brother told me he was going to a meeting and that I should come. I had met Joel and knew him. I said, I'll come. When I went, I saw the possibilities of how my material could get out to the masses. And so I went and I was skeptical. But as I continued to go, because I made a promise that I was going to see it through under the tutelage of Ramona and Danny and Joel and Christina, it was incredible what AI could do to enhance all of the material and all of the things that I had written and the messages. I had never dreamed that somebody like me could go as far as it could go, but it's just been amazing. It's just been an amazing ride, and so I'm just so excited now. And because of the knowledge that I have gained, there's so much I don't know, but the knowledge that I have gained, I realized it's a tool if it's used correctly that can help so many people that was in my position that didn't have an avenue, didn't have the help, didn't have the knowledge, wisdom, any of that. So with this, it's helped me so much in gaining an understanding of what can be accomplished in this arena.
Thank you very much, Pastor. I remember when I first met Pastor, he had all of these ideas for plays and books, and he was telling us the stories. We were captivated, and how do we turn that into things that will help and minister for him? Because that's one of the key things is using AI to minister. We have created apps where you can get your daily devotions, where you can have a Q&A with the Bible. If you're putting together a sermon and you have your own ministry and you're looking for new ideas, it's not a matter of you not being creative. It's a matter of, hey, I need an idea. So we have the sermon assistant, we have some LMS or learning modules around using ministry. And one of the key things with AI is you can train it to be very specific. Everything that is taught in these AI tools are strictly adherent to the Bible. It's not AI making things up. It has to be very well restricted and make sure that everything is part of the word. And so that's one of the things that was very important to Pastor. And we were able to accomplish that. When you ask it a question, it gives you very specific answers. The pastor really enjoyed how AI could be part of his ministry and follow his teachings the way he wanted it to be taught. That gives you an idea of what we can do for any type of industry or business using the AI workstation. I'll show you around because we've been speaking about it for quite a while. When you land in the AI workstation, it's 60 plus AI apps, so it can be a little overwhelming when you first get in here. But as you learn to manipulate it, it actually is very simple. And we train on this all the time. That's what the Tuesday lunch and learns are for, training on the different apps. It's kind of like an iPhone. You can move the apps around to wherever you want them to be. If you always want to have the Ask Ramona app available, you can drag it into your favorite position on the top. You can delete any apps you don't want. If you want to put them in a folder, you can drop them in a folder. If you want to understand what the apps are, you can simply go here, look at the individual apps. You'll get a little bit of an explanation of what they do. For example, when I design and launch AI Workstation for end users, the first button you'll see is the big Start Here button, and you can click on that, and when you go in there, it has a overview of the platform. It has one of our last training classes. A very important part of the AI workstation is that you're not just going to have a bunch of apps you don't know how to use. You have training. We have a concept called the AI super self, which is when you combine your experiences, your vision, your knowledge with AI, it allows you to 1000x yourself. And we also have in here the create method, which is how you communicate with AI and large language models. We created that model back in 2022, the end of it, just when ChatGPT was starting, and we use it still today. So that's how effective it is as a communication tool of how you speak with AI. We have examples of how we've helped customers build their business in here. We have training on all of the apps. And then on the second one that I usually recommend people go to is our AI Lunch and Learn. And this is where on Tuesdays we have general training on the platform. Like we're doing today, we have business training using AI. These videos are in here, and your members will be able to gain access to all of these videos that we've done over time. We record twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. There's a lot of content in here. AI Workstation is and so there's the Ask Pastor Freeman app. I mentioned the Ask Ramona, and we can create specific custom AI tools for E3. And you tell us what you would like these tools to teach on. Are they going to be like a video training that you're going to be doing? Are they custom AI GPTs? A GPT is basically just a bot that you train yourself, and then we can put that into the platform for you. Now, the look and feel of this is what we call the base model. This is the AI workstation model. But we also have the ability to do what we call a white label. The way I want you to think of our partnership is we can build out for your E3 colors specific to your branding. For example, this one is one I built out for Empire Board AI. That's the name of their platform. In Georgia, there is one of the oldest realtor groups in the country, and certainly the first of the Black realtor groups. And as a matter of fact, they weren't even allowed to be called realtors. They had to take the name realtists because they were denied joining the regular realtor boards. They're excited about pioneering another area. So basically, the Empire Board AI contains, again, this big old Start Here button, again, customized to their colors. And we can do the same kind of rebranding for E3 and your members. And so from there, we built custom apps. For example, here's a custom coaching app for realtists. Here's a contract assistant. Here is something to help them with prospecting. These are custom apps designed for the members. Only their members, by the way, can access Empire Board AI. Complete completely rebranded just for this organization. They have all of the other tools, they have all of the other videos, but those specific things are designed just for them. We teach and educate as part of this process. Let me move this out of the way here. So I kind of want you to think of let me drop this in here. Sorry, I need to add the letters AI to this. Oh, I remember what it is. There we go. AI Realtis is the name that we've selected for Empire Board. The reason why we went with AI Realtis is it also applies to their national organization, NARA, the National Board of Realtors. This is a pathway I want to explain follows for E3 as well. You mentioned you want to take it nationally. So you'd come up with a domain name that made sense around E3 going national with AI training and AI tools for all of your members. And this is essentially what this is. This is going to become eventually morph into NAREB, which is an acronym for the national version of this. We'll build it out. Again, it'll just be for your members initially, and then you can expand it out. We'll talk about the different types of training. In the Realtor world, there's CE or continuing education training, as you may or may not know. And so we're building out ways to do that in AI. You can build all of these tools. We're going to have advanced AI training, come in and do group learning sessions, teaching them specific things and how they can use AI in those areas. It doesn't matter the industry, AI is a tool. You can use it everywhere. We're showing them how to utilize the specialized AI tools that we created. They'll be training on that as well. And so this is the roadmap, and you can pick your price points. They wanted it to be a member benefit, just enough to cover the cost of the platform, and their members are already paying an annual membership, and so they're just building it out that way, and then it kind of walks through. Think of this website similar, rebranded to E3 to kind of give you an idea of possible futures. I'm going to keep going on the demos, but I'm going to pause and see if there's any questions from anyone.
Yes, sir.
Go right
So
ahead.
my question is for the member benefit, like I'm saying here, that $19.95 a month is something that they will be paying our organization to get access. Is that correct?
Correct. And so I'll give you behind the scenes here. So there's a cost for the platform for each member, and then the rest of it is basically yours to split between yourself, your member organization, and us as the hosting entity of it all. And so that's why I said there's a baseline cost, which we can
So
get to later.
you're
But
doing
the
the
idea
hosting,
is,
and when you're creating this, are you also creating a website, or are you just
right, that's
creating
what
the
I was
AI
going to say.
portion? Like, do they
Right.
already have to have their own website,
No,
or
no,
will
no,
you
no, of course.
create the entire branding of the website?
We'll create all of the branding, and then if they want to take the tools and build their own, they can. So we have multiple models. They have the tools to do it themselves, the DIY model, and then we have the tools where we'll do it with you, and so there'll be a cost, and we can work on the pricing or cost of those models together. And then we'll just do it for you. And the nice thing is, Joel mentioned the VAs, they're part of our team. So our virtual assistants can help them build out their whole thing. They don't have to touch anything if that's what they prefer. We give them all the choices and models. Hopefully that answered your question. Any more questions I can answer?
No, go
All
ahead
right.
and finish. I'll marinate on everything and
Perfect.
follow up. Go ahead. Thank you.
Let's see. Can I get the Zoom window out of my way so I can keep going here? We spoke on some of the tools that are in the platform. Let's get back in here. We have a host of them. And what's fun is you can build out all kinds of different things within the platform. I'm just checking my time, and we can do a second session and take time to kind of explain some of the AI tools that are in here. I like to use real world things in my examples. For example, I went out to ChatGPT just before we started this call. I gave it a prompt and I mentioned the create method. And this is a prompt that we train other people, your members, how to do this. But you are a digital marketing expert specializing in website analysis, SEO, and AEO. So SEO, you might know, is search engine optimization. AEO is newer, it's AI engine optimization. And this allows entrepreneurs and businesses to get found by ChatGPT. I don't use Google to search anymore. I only use AI like ChatGPT to search for things. In this case, I wanted it to look at the website that I gave it, which was Eagles Management, and give me a comprehensive review and suggest improvements. This is something that you used to have to pay people thousands of dollars to look at your website, tell you what's good and bad about it. This is what AI does. It allows you to become your own AI super self. You can take your website, throw it into ChatGPT with a good prompt, and effectively, it's going to tell you in somewhat friendly but brutal ways what it thinks about your website. In this case, it says, great, this is working. You got a clear audience focus, who you're going after, nonprofits, faith-based, straightforward navigation with links related to training programs and so on. It's telling you, hey, there's a little bit of a freshness problem with the
No,
content.
it looks like it
Went
was
to
my
that
management, the
URL.
landing page, all
Yes.
those other pages it went to is absolutely accurate. Those are other websites that we're rebranding and bringing all into the umbrella underneath that eaglesoaringmanagement.com.
Yes.
All of those are old sites that are still publicly available. That makes sense that they picked that up.
That's what I love
Yeah.
about it, right? How much and how long would it take you to have somebody go through this manually and bring you back this information that it did in a few minutes? That's what we teach people. We say, look, you can take whatever you are already doing and you can 1000x it. Not only did we ask it to take a look at it, we then asked it to take a look in that prompt the ideas of what I would want to do to make it better. It's going to walk through the technical aspects. And as I say to all of my students, you don't have to know what it's talking about. You just have to take what it gives you as an explanation. You take all of this information and then you give it another prompt. I can give it a prompt like, hold on, let me move this out the way.
And Danny, just so you know, my background is database design for the military. So I am an IT person. So I'm with you.
There you go, right? I can give it a quick prompt and say, create a comprehensive. Let me see if I can get my audio prompt. Give me 1 second. Sorry. There we go. I can see it now. Based on the information above, I want you to make it comprehensive, persuasive, and taking into account all of the improvements that you have suggested. Give me a prompt that I can use in appserver.ai or any vibe coding landing page to explain all of the benefits of my organization. Appserver.ai is one word. One of the beauties is we do training on this. Matter of fact, I'm in Austin right now. We're doing from today through Sunday. I'm training, as I said, a group of people, not only how to use these types of AI apps to create their own custom apps that you would spend $30,000, $40,000 building in the past. For example, I'm building out an app for this young lady who has an app called Bullying Buddy. And so we built this platform for her. She had a very old website. We updated the website. We built it in this vibe coding methodology. She's on the TV right now talking to Tamron Hall and a bunch of other people for this month, all about protecting our children from bullying, cyberbullying, the issues around teen suicide. We are helping her because she was going to go on TV and had a very bad app. We built this out in a couple of hours for her so she can go out and promote her business. This is what I mean by tools that actually help people, very critical to my way of thinking. Now that I've got the prompt, I could then grab it. This is Eagle Soaring Management. It's kind of made up its own name. Ignore that. And you would go in and fix all of these things. Like it's picking colors. You would go in and edit this. But I want to just show you how quickly we can create something from essentially nothing. It did this analysis of the existing website page, accurate or not, and came up with a plan of how it's going to fix that. It's building out all of the pieces that will be a better landing page. We're not going to take the time to analyze it and see if it's actually accurate, but it's good that it's doing all of this work for us. Again, I don't have to know what an H1 tag is. I don't have to know any of those things. I just need to know how to communicate with it. I don't have to know how to write any of this stuff that it's doing right now. I just let the AI take care of it. And when it's done, it's going to build a complete landing page that I can go from here and go forward. I'm going to let it keep doing its thing. While it is continuing to do that, I'll show you some more examples. Whoops, that is coming up. Joel will speak to that in just a second. I wanted to show you, I built this one for a cleaning company. Again, it doesn't matter what industry your members are in, we can build out complete projects for them. And this is actually an app that you can go in. So you can build websites, you can build applications. This is actually a website application for this business, book a cleaning, things like that. You want to be able to build all those types of things for your customers so they can get out there and see all these things. Okay, let's see if it's done. It should be done by now. Yep, it is. Oh, no, it's still building. Sorry about that. Where was I going here? AI for humanity.
Danny,
Go ahead.
it's not so much a question as it is a statement or just a reminder that this is why there are so many more millionaire entrepreneurs being created at such a fast rate. It's because we now have access to get information at the speed of light. As you said, it's not finished yet, but it's only been minutes. And here we are like, oh, it's still working. It's not finished yet. What do you mean? This used to take months or weeks. A lot of employees are scared that they'll lose their job. But those who use AI will be fine. They won't lose anything because now they can go in and sit down with human resources along with their directors, managers, and CEOs and say, hey, this is what I have created using AI. If you create a position for me, I will now come in and train everybody else on it. And this is how it can actually make things quicker and better. Take what they're doing already, implement AI, create something, a product, a service, and offer it. It's not the people who are afraid of AI taking jobs. It's the people who aren't going to use AI and not bringing it in as a partner. And that's the mindset around AI. You just have to shift your mindset and bring AI in as a partner in your business to elevate things and to make things so much quicker, better, and faster. And that's what business is all about. Competition gets eradicated because you have implemented something or created a model that's faster, easier, and more economical.
Exactly. The mindset shift is an important part of what we teach. So I appreciate you bringing that up. For example, this young lady, she had an idea. She's an Airbnb entrepreneur. She has her multiple properties that she gives Airbnb 20, 30% of her money every booking. And she was just fed up. She said, I want to start my own Airbnb. She created one called Direct Stays BNB. And right now she's launching it in Nashville. And the idea is it's a competitor to be Airbnb that property owners can join together and kind of create their own network and coalition of properties and customers. And the idea is you sign up for a flat fee. So you don't have to pay every time you book somebody. You're just paying that flat fee for the administration of the website and everything else. For her, it's not so much about disrupting Airbnb's model as giving resources. You can still take that same property, put it out there on Airbnb, but if you put it on Direct Stays, as Joel likes to talk about owning your own data, owning your own company, it's just like that with this. She decided to create this app. She went from zero to a completed project. She now has this ability to test, and she put that out there on the market. She'll maybe only get the local Nashville Airbnb members to sign up, but they can still keep advertising on our Airbnb. But if they do it here, they make more money. What a great business idea. She's already in that business, so why not capitalize on it and keep going from there? Okay, it's building. What I love about it is it tells you on the left how it's doing. Let's do a quick time check. Mr. Butler, can you stay on or do you have to jump off at the top of the hour here?
I am good for maybe another 15 minutes.
That's all I need. It can build an app in about 15 minutes, so we should be fine. While it's continuing to go here, Joel, I can keep showing. Joel, before this is finished, did you have anything that you wanted to comment on so that we kind of stay on time here while it's doing its thing?
Thanks, Danny. You just gave a mini version of the November event, Danny. And in 15 minutes, you gave it entire 3 days and 15 minutes in terms of what some of the outcomes and speakers that we'd have. What we're showing is that from idea to creation in a short period of time, this is what these tools, the generative AI aspect, has allowed you to be. Essentially, what we're saying, it doesn't matter. We don't have to be experts in anything, but we know how to ask the right questions and we know how to apply the right tool to the right problem set. For example, you wouldn't use a hammer when you need a screwdriver. You use the right tool for the right job. And so we understand and use the right tools for the right jobs. What we're doing today is try to bring it all together. We want to show you if someone can bring up Christina, if you don't mind sharing yours. Well, if you can share your screen, I want to show the event aspect.
Oh,
the 3-day event. We were talking about that earlier. I'll show Mr. Butler. Yes. Thanks, Dan. This is the draft, and we haven't shared this yet, Mr. Butler, because I wanted to talk to you before, and we'll solidify this later on today as we'll have a meeting after this. Essentially, this is the draft landing page for the actual event in November. The purpose is to learn, leverage, launch, and earn with AI, but we're integrating the empowerment aspect of the E3 Center. Okay, you can scroll down. And I just want to show you the type and calendar of the speakers, but what we're also doing in terms of a mindset shift, we're trying to get people away from saying artificial intelligence. There's nothing artificial about what Pastor Freeman created. There's nothing artificial about the anti-bulletin app. Those things are created based on real problem sets, based on real pain points. If you can conceive it now, you can achieve it. It's authentic intelligence versus artificial intelligence in our ecosystem. If you can scroll down and show the featured text demos, we have Mr. Ellis, Mr. Harris. They are already part of the E3 ecosystem. And then I also have a media production guy, Mr. Leroy of Leroy T. They have all that in-house expertise already. It's great now when we give this group of people more tools and train them how to use those tools. Wow, we're increasing efficiency 1,000 times. Ramona talked about the individual who wrote the book for the Queen. That's Professor Chris. What we're going to do here is quickly go through day 3. Keep scroll back up. And then Dr. James Dentley and Pastor Fred. Hopefully he'll give us the keynote address. But day 1 is the open house. We just kind of talk about the ethics of AI and show a few wow things, and we do a demo. That day 2 and 3 is really where you get into the nuts and bolts aspect of what is possible, the art of the possible. This is at the education level. Now, we hope that this event leads to populating a January cohort of a 6 to 12 week program where we go in depth, where Danny teaches you how to build those apps, where we actually train the trainers so you can go out and teach other people how to do this. That's the empowering aspect. We're teaching you how to fish. We're not trying to sell you a tool or technology because they change every day. But we teach you how to use that tool. When it comes to AI, you fall in love with a video production tool one day, and then the next day, there's other tools out there to produce graphics. I can't live without Gamma for content production now. We could bring all those things into our ecosystem and have them available. We're just going to kind of end up, and I'll let Danny finish up with his demo.
It's almost finished, which is great. And I'm glad you mentioned the video production. I'm actually going to be there coming up in the next 26th of September. I'll be at the Prince George Film Festival talking about
Awesome.
AI in that space. It's going to be really interesting to continue to build out all of these different apps. So we can.
And while that's still going, for people in the audience, if they want to just test something really quickly, like hands-on, from your phone, you can actually test it right now, durable.co. There are many people who said, I really want to start a business, but I don't have the money for a website, and it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get it, and it's like $3,000. Well, durable.co for free, free, durable.co. It's just one. There's many, but just one. And I use this example in the AI Business Incubator event that we did in Maryland last year. We threw apps at them. I have apps for anything I want to do and for free. I was on my events when I add new speakers and they have a background. I just go to Google and I say, give me an AI app that can move the background on a picture for free. And I throw the picture in, I just upload and click remove, and in 2 seconds flat, the background of their photos is removed. And durable.co is just one that will create a website for you. Of course, it asks about your business name, your business colors, and you implement it. It might ask you to upload a logo, or it asks you if you want them to create a logo. And logo makers, there's a logo maker.ai that'll create logos for you within seconds. So that's just an example. Go to your phone or computer right now. There's another one, 10web.com, I believe. 10, the number 10, web, web.com is another AI tool, free tool that allows you to create a website in minutes. Those are just a couple of examples.
It created what it thought was a good website. It gave a very short heading. It built out a subheading that kind of explained a little bit. It pulled those from your website, 90-day growth plans you can actually follow, book a strategy call. I would replace this, of course, with a video to update it. And then it just built out the rest of the page. My point to this exercise isn't whether this is a good landing page or not. My point is you built it in 15 minutes. That's what's important. I'll leave it there for today, but I think we answered most of the questions. I'll turn it back over to Joel and we can go from there.
Thank you, Danny. That was very informative. I appreciate you. One of the things I asked Joel offline, and I'm sure we'll probably talk more about, is whether there's an affiliate program.
There is.
And just to give you guys some context as you're thinking about it, E3 Business Group is national. We also have an international division that handles Europe, Eurasia, Middle East, Canada, and the Caribbean. In the US region, or what we call E3 Americas, that handles 5 different regions. We're here in the Mid-Atlantic region, which takes us from Delaware down to Richmond, Virginia. Eastern is from Norfolk down to maybe Myrtle Beach. And Southeast takes us from Myrtle Beach down to Florida and over to Alabama, Mobile, that area. And then we have 2 more regions that we're building out. One of the things I'm interested in talking about is what an affiliate program looks like, because I do see ways that we could possibly leverage this for us. But the power to me in this is creating a relationship like what I have with Adobe. Adobe and E3 partnered together in 2013. And Adobe has a product that you probably are familiar with, Adobe Connect. We use Adobe Connect throughout the country for a lot of our streaming and trainings, things like that. And as our training companies or people that want to use that platform want it, we're pretty much a bar for Adobe. They also give us access to additional tools. And when I'm looking at E3, Ramona asked earlier, what does that look like for me? A part of it for me is I want to be a way that we are a vehicle, an engine for them. When you think about E3, don't think about the end result. We're actually the funnel to have you access even more of our members and our networks. For instance, one member of E3 is the Central Maryland Chamber of Commerce. By way of association, their entire membership is a part of our network because their organization is a member of our organization. And we have 5 chambers of commerce that are members of E3. We're probably one of the few support organizations that can say chambers join us versus us joining them. Right. So I just wanted to give you that context as you guys are thinking and looking at ideas. This was very comprehensive, and I appreciate you taking the time to share it.
Let me answer the question quickly. We have 2 models for revenue share with users to make money. The affiliate program is built into the platforms. As soon as they're a member, they can go ahead and share a link. It'll have their name on it. And we'll set up with you what their revenue share is going to be. Anybody else that joins the platform, they immediately get it. There's a secondary layer called a white label where you take the entire platform and make it your own branding. They can sell that to their customers. They essentially become an AI agency providing AI tools to all of their members. They would get a revenue share of that as well. It's already built into the tools. Same thing goes for the app builder, my white label of the app builder. We also have another one, which is a lead generator for which all businesses need, where you can send out email that is agentic. Each email is unique. It does email, text, and voice. And they can use that in their business as well. That is white label available for them as well. It's a fantastic business growth model in all aspects. And so, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to close out right here, and I want to thank everyone for attending this session, and I appreciate everyone who contributed. Thanks, Christina. Thanks, Ramona. Thanks, Mr. Leroy, who's sitting over here.
Nice meeting you guys again. Thank you.
I want to thank Danny. He's doing his training. Also, I want to give a great thanks to Mr. Butler for allowing us to use this facility today to come in here. He's going to give us a tour, and I will sit down and talk with Mr. Butler. The requirements is basically, as Danny, as you know, Ramona, as you know, we have to go through, because there are many moving parts when it talks about digital software as a service and digital production requirements. We can create a pretty app in 15 minutes, but there's that back end, and that's where the knowledge management aspect comes in terms of the data that needs to come from those databases. We have to ensure that we know what those costs are. I'm sure that's something that, Mr. Butler is going to want to know in terms of the usage and things that way. We're going to get your requirements, and we're going to take them back to the team, and hopefully we can come up with a plan together. As Daniel was talking about models, we have do it with you, do it for you, or do it yourself models in addition to the bundles. And Pastor Freeman was one of our do it with you members in terms of building his application out. That was one use case. Have a good day. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate it. Everybody be safe.
All right. Bye-bye.